Thank you, Cliff. With that, we'll go to our fifth question here. It has to do with beef processing in the province. Manitoba's cattle industry needs value-added processing. And if elected, the question here, what's your party's plan to expand Manitoba's beef processing capacity? Let's keep the answers here under a minute as we're running short on time already. Stan, why don't you respond?
Sure. The cattle industry is a very important part of our, not just our agricultural economy, but the provincial economy. We've been working really hard to increase the number of, first of all, the number of cattle fed out in Manitoba, and then from there slaughtered in our province. We received a huge setback here just a couple of months ago when the federal government pulled $10 million out of a beef slaughtering facility, a project we've been working on here just a few months ago. They pulled that $10 million out. The provincial Conservatives stood on the sidelines and cheered them on as they did it, instead of standing up for the Manitoba cattle producer and demanding that the feds participate in what is a very good project. The feds themselves have said it's a good project, and now we have the prospect of the Manitoba government and cattle producers going it alone without one of our major partners. So we have to continue to put those investments, whether they're big slaughtering facilities or a number of smaller ones where we have seen some good improvements and some increased capacity to slaughter beef in this province.
Okay, thank you, Stan. Monica, what would the Liberal Party do?
What we would be doing is not looking at the provincial facilities that we do have in the province and trying to ensure that they meet federal standards so we can increase our cattle capacity. Also, we want to ensure that we also look at the domestic consumer problems that are happening and international production as well, so that we can meet the standards that are going to be happening down in the U.S. because they now have a third-party product testing, and I have been told by many people in the U.S. that they are moving towards third-party testing for food as well. So within the next 5 years, we have to be ready for this.
Thank you, Monica. Kate, your response?
Okay, expanded beef slaughter capacity would give cattle farmers marketing choice and power in the market to negotiate a better price. It's simple economics. You know, demand drives the price, and extra capacity means that extra demand and better prices. Look, I understand that the Beef Association is focused on feedlots and they want to deal with Alberta, and that's all fine. They can opt out of the cattle checkoff. But the rest of us, cow-calf producers, want that Keystone beef plant to go ahead. The natural, it gives them an outlet for grass-fed beef, an outlet for natural beef, and any addition to my marketing choice is going to put money in my pocket. That Manitoba plant will save me money on freight. And the Greens also want to shorten the hauling distance for our cattle. It's a humane way to go, and that saves the farmer money on freight and on shrink.
Go ahead, Cliff, your answer to this question.
Perhaps not all of our listeners might be aware, but I will disclose up front that my family and I are proud beef producers in the province of Manitoba and have been since 1973. As agricultural critic, I've had some very serious concerns about this government's management of the BSE file and its efforts to get a federally inspected beef slaughter plant off the ground. They were unsuccessful in Stan's back door, getting Rancher's Choice plant up and running in Dauphin. I had personally invested in seeing that plant get started, as I believed it would be beneficial to all producers of the province. And now the government is struggling to get a beef plant operational in Winnipeg because of their failure to come forward with a workable business plan that has led the federal government to relocate the slaughter improvement program funding for this proposed plant to High Life hog processing in Nipawal, which is also important. But it's 8 years since BSE hit, and the province have lost all confidence in the producers have lost all confidence in the government's ability to get a slaughter plant going. The Manitoba Beef Producers has called for the government to stop collecting the cattle tax, and the Manitoba Progressive Conservatives support that request. We remain committed to enhancing processing in the province for all of Manitoba raised beef, but we are disappointed that the strategies pursued by this NDP government have failed miserably.